What's up guys, if you're watching one of these videos for the first time, hey, how you doing? My name is Caleb. All this gorgeousness behind me is Reality Check and we do tech focused reviews. So if you enjoy that kind of thing, mosey on down to our subscribe button, give it a good old press, maybe throw us a like, possibly even hit that little bell icon so you get notified when we upload new videos. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Today is all about the Dell G3. Now, when I first got my hands on this laptop, I was pleasantly surprised. It offers you capable hardware, a simplistic, unobtrusive design, and it can still serve multiple functions just because of the way it's designed and styled. Now, its affordability and its overall simplicity, in my opinion at least, makes it a great option for, low-key gamers or mid-tier professionals. But let's talk about it in a little bit more detail. To begin with, we received the base configuration, which is an i5-8300, 8 gigs of RAM, and a GTX 1050. Now, that's a really nice solid build. It'll give you plenty of performance power. But if you need a little bit of an extra bump in that regard, you can get a model with an i7-8750H and a 1060 plus whatever RAM SSD configurations you like. But we're talking about it from the base configuration perspective. The G3 comes in at 15,000 Rand, which is an absolute steal considering everything they've packed inside of it. And obviously when you're able to sell laptops at such affordable prices, you have to reduce the quality of certain premium elements. And I think that's what they've done here with the G3, at least with regards to the build quality. So the build quality of the G3 is perfectly acceptable. It's just not on par with something like the G5. There's no metallic bits that just make it feel a bit more sturdy. It's an entirely plastic chassis with a nice smooth textured finish. Can feel a little bit thin in places, but overall is really rigid and sturdy. There's no flex except where the keyboard is located directly in the center. It just bends in a little bit, but overall it's quite solid. The screen hinge is attached firmly to the body and has a decent amount of resistance, so you're definitely going to need 2 fingers to open it, but that adds a little bit more to the build quality. So all in all, not bad, just not like premium metal chassis. The keyboard is probably one of the best elements of the build on the G3. So it's a fully fledged, well laid out keyboard with white backlighting, and it's got a fairly deep press with a really nice tactile response. And then lastly, it might seem like a bit of a weird thing to mention, but I really like the texture of the keycaps. It's got like a granite-y finish, which is just really nice to press on. The mousepad is smooth and responsive with a metallic finish, and it feels quite nice. No Windows precision drivers, but I think at this price point it's perfectly acceptable. The only issue I might have with it is that it's a touch small. Aside from that, the blue outline of it is a nice aesthetic touch, and I think overall it's a good mousepad. Moving on to the screen now, it's a 1080p IPS panel with a 60 Hz refresh rate, so the color accuracy out the box is fairly decent. Only thing here is that the bezels are fairly large, but again, at 15,000 Rand, you have to make some concessions somewhere, and I think that's one of those points. Other than that, it's got an anti-glare matte display, so gaming in bright environments is going to be pretty dope, or just generally trying to use it when there's lots of brightness is going to be nice. So I think all in all, it's a good screen. The speakers on the G3 are okay. There's really good clarity, but they don't kick out that much volume and there's not that much bass presence. But it's perfectly fine if you're going to be sitting right in front of your laptop, which is the only way you should be using laptop speakers. Like, I don't have respect for people who have a house party and then the music's playing out their laptop. Y'all need help. The port selection on the G3 is also fairly standard, but it's exactly what one might need if they were purchasing a laptop like this. Low-key gamers, mid-tier professionals don't need crazy amounts of ports. So you've got 2 USB 3s, 1 USB 2, an SD card reader, which is a nice touch for content creators and the like. And then you're also getting an Ethernet and an HDMI if you wanted an external display. So it's pretty standard, but it definitely covers all the bases. Performance-wise, this puppy definitely holds up to what one might expect from a 1050 i5 combination. It's decent. Obviously, the latest games that have come out aren't going to be kicking out like 120 frames per second at ultra high settings. But for things like Counter-Strike, for Overwatch, for Fortnite, you're going to get decent frames per second output for a really smooth, enjoyable gameplay experience. And I was perfectly happy with it for, medium to high graphic settings. In terms of how it handles content creation tasks like rendering out footage, 4K footage, it struggles a little bit with, obviously because it's only sitting with an i5, but it's still manageable. I've worked with less in terms of 4K footage and had to struggle through more, so this has still been a better experience in some regards. And 1080p footage is a breeze. An i5-1050 combination like this is going to kick out videos, no problem. So that's it for the G3. At 15,000 Rand and spec the way it is, I can see this laptop appealing to a lot of people. It's perfect for mid-tier professionals or gamers who are working with a budget. It provides you with decent performance and a professional design, so it means you can use it in any environment without standing out too much. In the context of using it in a professional environment, this laptop definitely serves its purpose because you can easily fold it up and take it to the meeting room or take it to the client location or take it to the damn coffee shop where you're having your meeting. It's got a small form factor and it's fairly light, and the battery life does last, so it's usable in that context. If you're a student who's traveling to and from college every single day and you want something that you can play games on, but that still has a decent battery life and you can still use it for professional tasks and just throw in your backpack, then this is the option for you as well. Even if you're a small startup, let's say in the content creation sphere, and you've got 8 staff who need laptops and they need to be able to move around with them, they need to be able to actually kick out edits in a decent amount of time, then again, the G3 is a good option. You get 8 of these, you can spec them appropriately for each individual employee. At the end of the day, people are always looking for great budget buys. They're looking for devices that can perform in the areas where they need them to. And for people who are looking for devices like that, I say look no further than the Dell G3, because it's dope. Anyways, guys, that pretty much wraps it up for this installment of Reality Check. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about the Dell G3. I'm hard pressed to find a better budget option out there. It's a really, really good deal. Don't forget to hit like, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time for another installment of Reality Check. Peace!